Welcome or welcome back to the TARP Sports YouTube podcast, whatever you are listening on. This is UFC Vegas 112 full card predictions, the last card of the 2025 year. Let's end it with a bang. Let's get into it. Starting with the main event, guys, we got Royval taking on Manel Kape. Royval is 4 inches taller in this one, but they both have a 68-inch reach. That's extremely weird, but it's a thing. Both these guys, extremely good finishers. Royval, 17 wins, 4 KOs, 9 submissions. Kape, 21 wins in his career. He has 13 KOs with 5 submission wins. So both these guys have killer instincts. They're extremely talented, 2 of the top flyweights in the world. It's a 5-round fight. I do give the 5-round fight advantage to Royval, and it's only because we really haven't seen Kape fight in 5-round fights. He's only been in 1 5-round fight inside the UFC, and he got the finish in round 3. I don't think he's finishing Royval. Although these guys are finishers, they're extremely durable as well. Both only finished 2 times in their career with a ton of fights. One thing interesting about Royval, his only losses inside the UFC: Moreno, Pantoja, Van. All the last 3 flyweight champions. Kape has a really good win-loss history as well. Kape's only UFC losses is Pantoja, Mokaev, who I honestly think could be UFC champion. And then he lost a split decision to Nicolau. I thought he won that fight though. Manel Kape, he's way better on the feet. Royval's definitely better jiu-jitsu-wise, but Kape has an 81% takedown defense. That is going to be very scary. I don't know how Royval will do on the feet against Manel Kape, because Manel Kape is extremely athletic. He can get you from anywhere, whether it's the legs, the hands. Like I said, 68-inch reach, even though he's a smaller fighter in this one. This fight is, to me, a coin flip. It's a very competitive, hard fight, and the odds don't show it that way, right? You can get Royval on BetMGM for plus 240, and I honestly think you have to take that. In this one, for me, it's dog or pass. Give me Brandon Royval on the money line plus 240. Next fight, we got Giga taking on Vallejos. There's a 14-year age difference in this fight. You got Giga at 37 years old and Vallejos at 23. Giga 1-3 in his last 4. I think his career's coming to an end in the UFC at least. I mean, Ige has been versing really good competition, but his last fight versus David Onama, I mean, that was just a bad loss to me. Vallejos 2-0 in UFC, Dana White Contender Series. He also has a win, so 3-0 if you count that. One thing about Giga, he is extremely durable. But I mean, like I said, 37 to 23 in these lower weight classes. Once you get to 35, really, your career's starting to decline pretty fastly. Give me Vallejos in this one. Give me Vallejos by decision. Next up, we have Cesar Almeida taking on Cesari. This is Cesari's UFC debut. He is coming off the Dana White Contender Series with a KO win. This is an interesting one, right? I love the fight camps that these guys train with. Cesari's with Fighting Nerds. We all know about the Fighting Nerds. And then Cesar Almeida, he is training with Teixeira MMA, which is Glover Teixeira, Alex Pereira, and them. Both guys coming from great camps. 12-year age difference in this one. Cesar Almeida is a little bit older in his career, and I know it's pretty young in his MMA career, but he is a really good kickboxer. He actually fought Alex Pereira in kickboxing. So yeah, I mean, a ton of great experience on the feet. One thing that does scare me in this one, the Fighting Nerds genuinely in that camp do mix it up pretty well. And Cesar, his only UFC loss was to Kopylov, and Kopylov grappled him heavily. He was like 5 for 8 on takedowns, and if you're getting taken down by Kopylov, who has absolutely no grappling, that scares me because I think Cesari, although we haven't really seen it, he can grapple. So I think he can get his way into a win. Another thing, all Cesar's wins are just not really good. His only real loss was Kopylov, and Kopylov was just able to control him in the fight. I think that's what Cesari can do in this one. Give me Cesari by decision. Next fight in this one, we got Costa taking on Charrier. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys here. Morgan Charrier, he is a guy that benefits extremely well in his career when the UFC goes to France. He gets absolute cans when they fight in France because the UFC is trying to win over the French market, right? That being said, that's why in his career, if you look, Morgan Charrier is win-loss, 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 because when he's not fighting in France, they don't give him cans, and he doesn't do so well. Costa 5-2 in the UFC, and one of those losses was a short notice fight. That's how he got into the UFC. Charrier, I'm not going to lie to you, he is the better offensive striker, but Costa is the way better defensive striker, right? He protects himself way better, he gets hit less, and he still puts it on, right? So the striking, I think, is close. Where it kind of gets separated at, I do believe Costa is the better grappler. Now, if you look at the stats, Charrier has a decent takedown defense, and he shoots a pretty decent takedown accuracy. Costa's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is an elite level, and I think sometimes he just accepts getting taken down because he knows he can get a submission, and he's comfortable on the mat. So I think if he really needed to, he could defend takedowns a little bit better. I just think Costa has more ways to win this fight. Give me Costa by decision in this one. Next fight, we got the African Savage Kennedy taking on Buchecha. Buchecha is 0-1 in the UFC. His only loss was to Boudet. That's a good loss, right? He made his UFC debut versus Boudet. The only reason he debuted versus Boudet is because he is from One Championship. That's a different MMA promotion. He was 5-1 in there, extremely good. He actually has really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a heavyweight. But Kennedy used to fight at 205, and if you heard me talk about the heavyweights before, you know how I think about heavyweights, right? After, I'd say there's a 10 of the heavyweights in the UFC that are actually good, and then after that, it's kind of just like whoever's the stronger guy kind of wins type of deal. It's not really skilled in the heavyweight division, at least in the UFC. But Kenny used to fight at 205, so I think he's definitely way more athletic, and I think his power can transition well into heavyweight. We've seen it already that he got a knockout in the heavyweight weight class. He is, I believe, 2-1 or 1-1 UFC heavyweights. So one thing, also, he's an extremely big fighter, right, Kennedy? Kennedy is 6'5". He's a very long fighter. It's hard to get him down. He has an 80% takedown defense. This fight will be a nightmare for Buchecha if he cannot take Kennedy down. Give me Kennedy in this one. Give me Kennedy by KO. Next fight, we got some women's MMA here. We got Lemos taking on Robertson. Lemos is 38 years old. Robertson is in the middle of her prime at 30 years old. Lemos, the only losses in her career: Tatiana Suarez, Fiona Jaroba, Wei Li, Jessica Andrade. Those are the only losses in her UFC career. She lost, I think, her first UFC fight, but that was years ago. So she's only losing to the best of the best. But one thing, I do think Lemos is past her prime. Typically 35 is the prime ender. It's hard to judge that, right? Because when you're versing such high level of women in MMA, it's kind of hard to see where you stand. I think Robertson is a really good test for her. Robertson is the favorite in this one, and I get it. She is in the middle of her prime. She's on a 3 or 4 fight win streak. She mixes up extremely well, right? Great grappler, decent with the hands. Give me Robertson in this one. I'm just banking on Lemos being washed. If she is not washed, though, it could be a long night for Robertson. So just keep that in mind. So give me Robertson in this one. Give me Robertson by decision. Next fight, we got Brito taking on Melzik. I believe that's how you pronounce that. This could arguably be fight of the night. This is a low-key banger. But one thing I noticed about Melzik in his career in the UFC, all of his UFC wins, they're all out the UFC right now. Maybe Tucker might still be in there. I don't know. He hasn't fought since 2023. But yeah, not a good win history, right? Brito is an absolute dog. He actually beat Diego Lopez on the Dana White Contender Series. He has multiple ways to win these fights, right? Melzik is really just a one-trick pony with the striking. And honestly, I don't even know if he's a better striker than Brito. Brito is nasty. He's powerful. Give me Brito in this one. Give me Brito by KO or submission. Next fight, we got Neil Magny taking on Amosov. This is a 38-year-old Neil Magny going up against a 32-year-old Amosov. Amosov, this is UFC debut. He's coming from Bellator. He was 8-1 in Bellator and even champion. But like we've seen before, we've seen these Bellator guys come over and just not be good. Patrick Mix. Neil Magny on the money line plus 320 is just way too much value. He's actually hot right now. I mean, he just beat Jake Matthews, and I just think Jake Matthews and other people that Neil Magny has beaten in his career are just better than Amosov, just because I don't know anything, right? I know him from Bellator, right? I've seen his fights in Bellator, but we also seen Patrick Mix fight in Bellator. We would have thought he would have been amazing coming over, and he wasn't. So that being said, you had to take Neil Magny in this one, especially with the value. Give me Neil Magny on the money line plus 320. Next fight, we got Sharaf taking on Asplund. I'm going to keep this one real simple for you guys. Sharaf was signed to take on a Tafa brother, short notice, in Australia, and he got KO'd by a Tafa. If you're getting KO'd by a Tafa, man, you're just not bettable. You're not pickable. You're not anything. Probably going to get cut after 2 more fights. Give me Asplund in this one. Asplund, it's his UFC debut. I don't care. Give me Asplund by KO. Next fight, more women's MMA. We got Croden taking on Santos. 9 years age different in this one, but Croden is the one that lacks experience. Only 1 fight in UFC. She is 1-0, however. I just think Santos is obviously the younger fighter. I think she's just more athletic. I think she has more ways to win. Great jiu-jitsu on her. And only being 25 years old with the ton of UFC experience she already has, I think it's not going to be a good night for Croden. Give me Santos in this one. Give me Santos by decision. Next up, we got Fry Jr. versus Pat. Both these guys making their UFC debuts, both heavyweights. Someone's going to get knocked out. I don't really know much about either of these guys, right? Not a ton of fight experience on either of them, 6 and 5 career fights. Both undefeated. Both got almost all their fights ending in a KO. This one, you have to go dog or pass because you just don't know anything, right? So give me Fry in this one. Give me Fry by KO. Next and last fight, the curtain jerker on the card. Horth taking on Bleda. 11 years age difference in this fight. Bleda is a wrestler. Horth is a kickboxer. But one thing about Horth, she knows how to keep it on the feet. She got a 76% takedown defense. And I think if she keeps it on the feet, it's going to be a very long night for Bleda. Give me Horth in this one by decision. That does it for UFC Vegas 112 full card prediction. Guys, if you're going to bet anything I'm saying right now, please be responsible. I'm not a professional. I do not do this for a living, right? I do it for the love of the game. Share your degenerate uncle. Let's kill this last card. Subscribe, like it up. Let's go.